welcome back to the land of dirty old hand-rolled darts. Thanks again, Uncle Tony, for getting me hooked on the good stuff. And a case of dirty old... Willard's got a serious case of grass parts. I don't even understand how he finds grass. And it's green for Fox Creek. Willard, dog, where are you finding green grass to eat and then shit out? Where are you finding it? Are you stunned? You're stunned. Alrighty, well, it looks like our first spring of many has sprung. We usually get about 2 or 3 springs, but I got a real treat of a video for you, minty pricks. You're gonna like it. It's a will it start, believe it or not. But it's a bit of a twist on her. Got a bit of a twist to her. Willard, what are you doing? Are you stunned? Did we put you on a t-shirt? Yeah, we did. Guess what it says? Are you stunned, bud? Are you stunned? The answer is yes. Well, let's get this road on the show, shall we? These dirty old darts are just a treat. This is a taste of America for this hillbilly. That's America right there. About a year, well, it's almost 2 years ago, I got to enjoy one of those sitting beside a real American. Red, white, and blue, minty feller. And every time I just hand roll one of them up and start ripping on her a little bit, you know, the old stars and stripes and the eagles fly. It's just a treat, except for he likes dodges. You don't need to worry about being the guy at the auction that buys all the derelict shit that nobody else wants, and then you get a good deal on it, and you realize it's not that good of a deal because there's a lot of bad things going on. I guess that answers your questions on if dogs should be vegans or not. Right there. They eat it to throw up. I wonder what Willard ate this time that he wanted to throw up.
A liberal Democrat.
Probably another couple spark plugs. So today's video is gonna be a will it start video. And obviously, this hot pile of Ferd fired right up. So you're sitting there sipping on your beer wondering, Peg, what are you, stunned? And the answer is yes. Yes, I am stunned. But the question is, will it start? Now, that's been the theme of LubeTube for a while now. It's been the theme of my life since I was, well, even in the old two-legged days. See, there was a time long ago in a place far away where I had a couple of legs. Man, hashtag two-legged days. Don't even look that stunned. But yeah, the old will it start. So everybody does these videos where they go out into the bush and they find some derelict pile and they get her running and they drive her home. Well, I drive derelict piles every day. Speaking of which, I ordered brake pads for the 89 Dynasty on Rock Auto, and look at that minty old box.
Only a true hillbilly gentleman can appreciate the ins and outs of a dirty old clapped out box.
This has been sitting on the shelf for a while, and they were $9. That's just a good deal. This is gonna be completely bass-backwards to what I usually do. So what I usually do is I struggle around trying to find all my minty batteries and go hobble out to the middle of nowhere and get some hot pile running, right? Well, today's gonna be bass-backwards, like a whole nother dimension, whole nother universe. What we're gonna do here is we need a dead battery, a completely dead battery, which I know what you're saying. Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. We're gonna need a completely dead battery, and this is gonna be one of them situations that every one of my hillbilly brethren had ran into. Every one of you guys. If this has never happened to you, then I don't even think you can call yourself a certified piss tank. So this has happened a million times. You get in the old Ferd, you get in the old Chevy, the old shipping crate, you head her on down to the pit party, to the lake or the river. You're giving her all the way. You're sipping on some lattes, you know, having a gay old time. Not like a 2024 gay old time, but like a, you know, the Flintstones variety. Have a gay old time. So you're down at the old pit party, river, or lake. You're having a good time. You got the tunes cranking, you got the beer cracking, everything's good. Everything's golden. This one's for Toby. Life couldn't be more grand. You know, maybe you got some Fleetwood Mac going on. You know, you got the Toby Keith. Sounding mint. Maybe a little bit of Hank Williams Jr. I mean, them old Ferd door speakers, they gotta put out. Stock from 1997. So there you have it. You're sitting there, you're cranking some quality tunes. You got the old Ferd backed up to the old piece of water, whatever variety. You know, if it's an old oil bird, that's probably a mist of condensate oil just sprinkled over the top of the old pond or river. I mean, that's just a good time. That stuff lights on fire. So you got the 1997 speakers cranked all the way to 11. That's what's gonna happen. And to match cranking the speakers all the way to 11, you got a beer in hand and you're cranking your liver all the way to 11. That's also gonna happen. happen.
Whatever's free.
Take it easy, Ron.
Open bar, dude! And before you know it, you're doing what Willard did with that dirty old vegan food. Is you're spraying it out of your mouth hole at about 6,000 miles an hour. And then, if you're fortunate enough to pass out, you're underneath your truck or inside of it with it idling. Sometimes you don't always make it inside of there with it idling. Ask me how I know. The tunes are still cranking, the lights are still on, and you're passed out underneath the truck with a serious case of 6,000 mile an hour vomit. It happens. It's the way she goes.
That's the way she goes.
So, you wake up 6, 7 hours later, if you're lucky, you know, old Johnny Law hasn't shown up to shit in your cornflakes. Nothing bad's happened. You're having a good old time. You go ahead, you know, you wake up.
I could go for a fucking smoke right fucking now.
You have a little bit of hair on the dog, hair off the dog, whatever the case may be. You crack into one of these. You're standing around, you're like, ah, yeah, today's gonna be all right. You don't need to worry about going into work. I mean, it's Thursday morning. That's an oil patch Saturday morning. That's just how that works. So you had yourself a fresh one. You're watching the sun rise. You're sweating a little bit of the old liquor out. All of these things are happening. All of these things are mint. Then you climb on over the old Ferd. You do the old Terry Fox hop into the old prick. You go ahead, you grab the key, you shove in the old man pedal, and she dead.
That's a lot of dim.
What are you gonna do now? What the Fox Creek are you gonna do now? So your choices are limited. You could either call your old man, who's gonna be probably pissed off if you're a youngin'.
But if you want my help, you gotta listen. Number one, stop being a pussy. Number two, make a move.
He doesn't want that. He doesn't like that. Can't call your mom, because that ain't cool.
I have had it!
Can't call your buddy, because he was probably getting pissed up right beside you. You know what they say? A friend will help you move, but your best bud will help you move. A body. And if he's there, you're screwed. So you got no one to come get you. You don't call AMA because you don't sit the piss. Now your Ferd, Chev, or Dodge is dead. There's no way to get the old prick running. But you remember, when you reach down, you got yourself a pair right there.
You need to stand up and be a man. There ain't many of us left, but stand up and be a man.
A big old greasy set, and you prepare for these things. Because why? We live by the 7 P's. Proper previous planning prevents piss poor performance. Burt Gummer once said, if you need it and don't have it, you sing a different tune. So, you hobble out of your old truck here. The battery is stone cold dead. And now we're gonna have to go ahead and kill ourselves the battery. Just look at this. Yeah, another ADD moment. Another squirrel went by. But look at this. That's mint. I've been told that in 65 and 66, this means that it had a straight 6 under the hood. I don't know, there's been a bunch of these with the V8 and this, that, and the other, but I was told in certain years with the Ferds and the Mercuries, I think, that they had this on there and it meant it had a straight 6 under the hood. And lo and behold, this old Ferd has exactly that. What a treat. Yeah, I get it. If I spent $25,000, I'd be able to get 214 horsepower out of the 7.3 that was in there. I'm sorry, Ford guys.
Stop! Stop! Do not come near my fucking car! What? I'm gonna fucking hurt you in 2 seconds.
Relax. Just calm down. Relax. All right. So we gotta take a pause for a second here. So the whole scenario is your battery's dead. Well, I'm not gonna kill that good battery. I've been trying to kill this thing for the last 2 days. But that LED light, believe it or not, doesn't draw a whole lot of amperes. So we're gonna have to kill this battery. We're gonna bring this thing down to Slave Lake. We'll just put it in there. That'll be mint. I mean, she spent her whole life killing batteries. I mean, why stop a good thing, right? Where the hell is Rhonda? Speaking about killing beers and batteries, old Rhonda here, she has seen her fair use of alcohol abuse. I tell you what, this thing used to be mint condition. Well, it's still mint. The beer did flow through it pretty hard. Oh, come on, Rhonda. Like it was just shut off. What a treat. Gotta get my yoga mat dialed in here. I'm doing yoga, see?
And observe the energizing effects of that heart-opening pose.
All safe and shit? Oh yeah, man. Are you stunned? Old Slave Lake. We need you to kill the battery for us. You're good at it. It's got 2 good batteries in it. Well, they're probably dead. Where's the hood prop? Bring me a hood prop. Are you looking for some more green grass to eat, you stunned fuck? Are these batteries still alive? What do you guys think? Oh yeah, mint. All right, we're just gonna unhook them, and then we're gonna put the battery beside it, and then we'll just let her die. You don't think it'd be so hard to find a dead battery around here? Because usually when it's -40 outside, that's all you find. All right, it's still cranking? Oh yeah, real bad connection. Willard, are you stunned, bud? All right, how's she crank now? Man, I mean, we almost have to fire it up. We were down here cranking it. We might as well fire it. The old squirrel brain really goes off on a bit of a tangent all the time, but I mean, that's just the way she goes. And no, we're not gonna use the glow plugs, even though we proved that old Slave Lake not addicted. Oh, we gotta use 2 Cosby sauce cans. One in there, right there, and then one sprayer down her throat hole. I don't even know where I got this stuff. Oh no, that's Princess Auto stuff. Well, it was on sale. Probably not just their stuff. Treat. All right, well, now that we had her started, we'll leave the injection pump off, and we'll leave the headlights on until I get back from the gun show with Sawed Off Frenchman. All right, lights on? I think the light, oh yeah, lights are on. Now we're just gonna leave her. Lever A, lever B, and it'll kill that battery. Mint. All right, well, better man than myself once said,
You got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything.
well, and that is, you can't start up old Rhonda without taking her for a little bit of a side wheelie. Oh yeah. What a treat.
From that day on, if I was going somewhere, I was running.
The trouble is that during an ATV's average lifespan of 7 years, there is a 1 in 3 chance that the ATV will carry its rider to serious injury or death. Government experts say it is by far the most dangerous vehicle on the market today.
Shut up, bitch! There's a yipper on the booze. It's a liquor lunch.
See, there's not a lot of folks out there that know this, but these throttles only have 2 settings, on and off. Willard, why are you laying right in the puddle? Are you stunned? You know, you don't have to lay in it to drink out of it, right? There's nothing going on in that head. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, so Slave Lake's really good at killing batteries if you go and sit in Slave Lake and crank for fucking hours. But I left a battery in Slave Lake, didn't even kill it. So I had to take both batteries out and put them in the old screw cab schlong box, left the fucking lights on all night. And yeah, we did a fucking minty job of killing batteries. Now, back to the simulation. All right, about 9 o'clock in the morning, after a long night of giving her, I went to crack yourself a fresh one, give one for Bert. You know, you fucking stagger out from underneath the truck or in the truck or wherever the fuck case may be. You get yourself a nice hand roll, staggering around the old river site, having a minty old fucking morning. Everything's as it should be, you know, things are minty as fuck. You're like, oh yeah, fuck, jumping the old Ferd here, go to fuck home. Your head's about the same size as the pussy you were pounding on last night. And lo and behold, the Ferd is completely dead. Now, when I say dead, I mean she's properly fucking dead. Like, this thing ain't fucking moving. There ain't nothing left in the battery. So we'll grab out the old fucking wall gas meter here. Let's see what we got here. We got sweet and fuck all, and sweet left town. So you got this fucking dead battery. You're fucking sitting there, your head's pounding. Of course you forgot your fucking Tylenol at home, unless you're a champion like my fucking crippled ass. I got the whole hangover fucking pharmacy in here. You got the Advil Cold and Sinus. You got the fucking Mullet Maker 500, buddy. You got matches, fucking winch controllers. All of the winch controllers are fucked. Oh, yeah. You got twin stick garage stickers that you've had in there for fucking ever. You got all the shit in here. There's some other stuff in there that requires a key to fucking rally on, but other than that, you're good to go. All right, so your truck's fucking dead. You want to go home. You want to have a shower and wash off that layer of filth.
I got the poo on me.
Your best buddy's with you. You're fucked. You and him are standing around. You're going, oh, we can't call our fucking dad. Can't call the old lady. Can't call anybody. We got to fucking get out of this situation on our own. Why? Because we're men. And what do men do? We stand up when we piss and we shit with the fucking door open. So, you got yourself a mint truck. You're a man. You know, you woke up, you pissed standing up. When you go out to these fucking debacles, you're going to have a few things with you. You know, sometimes I will actually have a jumper pack with me because, you know, your truck's a piece of shit sometimes. Or, you know, low in beer hold, there'll be another battery laying in the box. These things happen. I will have those sometimes. But the simulation is right now is you got sweet and fuck all. So we got to get this pile of shit running. All right, first thing on the docket, so you gotta go climb up the old Rebco and have a gander in the old tickle trunk and see what you got to fucking get yourself going. You gotta lock this fucking thing up all the time because there's a bunch of greasy fucking crackheads that fucking like to steal all your shit. So don't lose your key. Hide it somewhere on the Ferd. Oh yeah, and Princess Auto had those ratchet straps on sale. Go ahead and buy yourself 10 of those. All right, open up the old tickle trunk of mintiness. Now I got everything in here because I'm a man, all right? I don't need to call AMA. I don't need to call anybody because I'm a man. So are you guys. You guys are minty as fuck. So what we gotta do is we gotta get that minty fucking 5.9 liters of Cummins engine running. So we're gonna do this 3 ways, all right? This is the first way that I think might work. I've done it for a little bit, but it didn't really work because I was really drunk. So, you know, that's the way she goes. By the end of this video, that might actually happen. Hell yes. But in this fucking pile of shit, we got Milwaukee's, we got fucking batteries, we got the shot blank bandolier, what for lube tube. I'm gonna take a huge hot dump on this. But what we also have in here, because we're a man, we don't sit to piss, is we got a steel chainsaw. That's right. All right, so we'll dig the old steel out of here. So we got that guy. So a real man will always have more shit in here than you'll ever need. So what I like to keep in here is a V-belt. So I'm about to get this old shitty Ferd running with a V-belt, one of my M12 Milwaukee batteries, and a chainsaw. How am I gonna do that? Well, you just sit there, crack yourself a cold one, and enjoy. All right, we're down to the river right now. We're down to the old pit party. We don't have all this minty shit at our disposal. But you are gonna have a chainsaw, and you're gonna have a V-belt. You gotta have this shit in your box. If you don't, you're stunned. Take your old bar tool here, pull the old fucking bar off. This old MS390, she's seen some fucking red line in her day. How much? All of it. All right, so you got your saw out, you got the bar off, chains there. This isn't a blade, all right, people? This is the chain. It's the chain of the bar, not a blade. If you walk up to a feller and he's talking about how he knows chainsaws and he calls that a blade, that strikes 2 and 3. You gotta write that fucker off. So you got your saw here, you got the cover off. Now a lot of Huskies, I think it's a Husky. The ring here that holds the fucking clutch cover on, I think it's a Husky. I don't know, I don't sit down to piss, so I don't have a whole lot of those laying around. So what you're gonna wanna have here is something as such. So you see how the V-belt kind of just cogs onto there? Well, you're drunk and hungover and you're not gonna have a very steady hand unless you've had a couple of beers to stave off the old shakes, but you're gonna wanna have a ring on here bigger than what they come with. I mean, you could fucking piss with this cock if that's what you got, but you're gonna wanna maybe, if you got it, find a fender washer or some kind that'll fit on here, that'll work. You're saying, Peg, you're not gonna have a fender washer laying in the bush. You're wrong. You're fucking wrong. You know that guy, when you walk up to his truck and he's got so much fucking shit laying in there. He's over GBW going down the road because all the shit he's got. Glove box is full. Center console full. Richie Bros receipts, all of it. And look in here. Just a fucking treasure trove of minty fucking shit. Look at it. Extensions. I didn't even know I had. Mint. Right fucking there. What is this? You got brake clean, fucking choke and carb clean. You never know when you might need to clean the carburetor on your fucking 12 valve. So you're gonna root through here. You got the Avis locks. You got fucking minty shit. You got the hammer. You got punches. All this shit. You're gonna wanna have some fender washers. There you go. There, see? All of this minty shit. And there's a woman sitting there right now going, oh, I know what this hillbilly's talking about. Every time I get in my husband's truck and my boyfriend's truck, all this fucking shit falls out and hitting the floor. Well, yeah, you're gonna have that. So that fender washer ain't gonna do. This one will do. Oh, yeah. You're gonna wanna have all this shit laying around all the time. That's how it works. So you can take this guy, take your choke fucking adjuster 500, pop this C-clip off the old saw. All right, any fucking man, any man out that tells you that you don't need a Leatherman, well, you can tell them to get fucked. Take the old Leatherman Wave, pop the old C-clip on there. So now what we got is a derailleur device. So that guy can go on there like so, and it'll give you a little bit of fucking Murphy, what, for that thing coming off of there. Maybe. Or it might completely bung up and fuck everything out. We don't know. We're just gonna give her. Alrighty, so next on the list, find a safe place to put your beer. Right over here on the heater box in the Ferd is usually a pretty good spot. Find a good place for your multimeter. I do always carry a multimeter in my Ford. As you see, there ain't sweet fuck all in that battery. She did. So what we're gonna do now is just pull this belt off of here. We gotta get the belt off. Princess Auto breaker bar, mint. I was actually rooting through this old Ferd the other day because me and the old lady went on a cheeseburger picnic, and I found 3 of these breaker bars in that box that I didn't even know I had, so that's awesome. All right, now just peel your belt off. Leave her sitting over here like such. It'll usually pinch in there so you can get her in there nice and deep black. Man, old Uncle Tony's got me on the hand rolls big time. Big shout out to that guy. Just a minty fucking old prick. So you got your alternator exposed. So I don't know how it is on the old 6.5 Chevys, 6.2 Chevys, the old 5.9 Cummins of the shipping crate variety, the alternator's up here, and the 7.3 Power Smoke, the alternator's up here. So yeah, you got your alternator all dialed in. You got your chainsaw all dialed in. Now you just gotta line the 2 fuckers up. All right, so I always keep a can of old saw gas right there. No, might as well use the shop saw gas instead of the truck saw gas. We're doing a simulation here. We're being proper. So what you're also gonna wanna do, and you know, wish in one hand, shit in the other hand, see which one fills up first on the hope scale, is dump out all your bar oil, because that's gonna start partying with that belt. And it's gonna make a real shitty mess. All right, so you got your saw. Make sure it fucking starts. Well, it's a still, so it will start. Oh yeah, what a treat. So meow, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna take this guy, hook that on the old alternator, and then hook the fucking chainsaw right to there. So you're gonna wanna get comfortable with this because you're gonna be here a while. All right, fire it up. Grab your V-belt. Now this is no Chevy or no Ford, it'll already have a V-belt on her, not that fancy serpentine shit. So, take the chain brake off and give her a spin. What you're gonna notice is that alternator ain't putting out a fucking thing. You got her spinning like crazy, but it ain't putting out. It's like taking the old lady for some wine and dine and not touching you where the end of your pecker stings. I mean, that's just bullshit. But what the problem here is you've let the battery on. Old Garth Brooks and Colin Baton Rouge has completely fucked the battery to where it won't excite the alternator. All right, so you're a man and you're gonna have Milwaukee batteries in there. Let's go grab a Milwaukee battery out of here. Mint. So there's your Milwaukee battery. You got power on that side, ground on that side. Now we're gonna need a chunk of wire out of here. There's always wire in this pile of shit. I always got to roll of wire somewhere, so let's grab that. All right, well you go ahead and take your chainsaw fucking carb tool here. Remember back in the day when you go into a farm store or whatever and you come on out and they'd hand you a screwdriver, one of them little fucking screwdrivers for adjusting chainsaws, and it'd have the company name on it. That's the kind of time I want to live in. If you youngins don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and ask an old timer, maybe your old man, and he'll tell you. That was a good time to be alive. Back when men were men, you know, when sheep were scared. None of that fucking bullshit nowadays. Everybody likes to drive around on their tofu fucking garbage nowadays, trying to be as useless as possible. But back in the day, men were men. We're gonna hook this guy up to here and hook this guy up to here, and we should have whatever that battery got in it, some kind of 18 volts. We got 19.81 volts in there. So that's way too many volts for this thing, but it's a small battery. It'll be just fine. You don't have to worry about all those ratings and shit. So what we'll do, meow, is we'll hook this guy up here. So if you know anything about an alternator, an alternator is unable to make power without getting power. So it needs some kind of horsepower of the wall gas variety to get her all fucking fired up. So we'll just take this old fucking Milwaukee, and while the chainsaw's running, well, what it'll do is you can do it right now. You can just hook it to the battery and it'll automatically charge the alternator to have her start. But for you guys, I'll start running the alternator with the chainsaw, and then I'll just grow a fucking third hand out of my ass, touch her to here, take a sip off my beer, and show you guys some fucking magic. You guys ready for this shit? Chain brake, that's the only time I'd use it. So we're gonna get comfortable, remember? We got her spinning, right? You guys see there's nothing coming out? Ah, for fuck's sake. Gonna have to take a mulligan on that one. Do I got the negative? Oh, I was hooking the battery up backward. Okay, you're not gonna wanna do that either. But we lost the belt and we cooked the battery a little bit. But I mean, you're gonna be drunk and hungover. All of this is supposed to be a real life scenario. Worst case Ontario. We'll stick her on the other side here. So that's negative over here. Alrighty, take two. See? We got fuck all for voltage here. Huh? Alright, so meow. Take the old fucking chainsaw again, fire it back up. Alright, now we got the battery hooked up, right? Now hopefully your best buddy's with you, he can give you a hand, but even if you don't have anybody with you, you can get this done. Break off. Alright, you gotta start spinning the alternator. So you guys see, the alternator's spinning, but the alternator's not putting out. So take a gander at this. Fuck. Yeah, it might take a few tries here. Oh yeah, you gotta make sure your key's on. Fuck, I forgot. Key on, ignition on. All right, let's try it again. Multimeter died on me. But yeah, there you go. It's starting to charge. So you see the Milwaukee's disconnected, but the lights are still on. So we got 15.5 volts coming out of that alternator. So proof of concept here. We're gonna take a gander here. So now we got 2.140 volts. So it's gonna be going down, the key's on. Anything in the cab with the key turned on is gonna be robbing power. It's gonna be killing anything that you put in the battery right away because there ain't a whole lot in there. So we use the Milwaukee battery to excite the alternator. Now you're gonna wanna open up 2 or 3 beer and lay them across the rad support here unless you got your buddy with you, because you're gonna be standing here for a while running the fuck out of this chainsaw to try to get that alternator to charge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand here the whole time sipping on that beer, see if I can't charge this old Series 31 up enough to get this old fucking thing to start. But don't worry, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get us out of this predicament with my chainsaw and a V-belt. Well, let's get this rolling the show, shall we? All right, 0.8 of a volt left in that battery right now, so I might have to re-excite it. Stopped here for a second. I wanted to grab a timer. So it's 1:20. We got old Benjamin Franklin there. You know, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. That guy's minty as fuck. But so we got him here. We got 1:20 in the afternoon. We're gonna give her all the way with this. We're gonna see how long it takes to charge the battery enough to where we can fucking start it. I think I'm gonna be here a while, and this thing's shooting gas out everywhere, so that's fine. All right, so we got a couple of these guys, which I do keep in the truck all the time, hooked up to a couple of wires. I gotta roll a wire back there, and that is feeding 16 volts into the alternator. It's killing this battery rather quick, but what we're gonna do now is just hook her all back up and give her all the way. All right, so what for comfort, I'm gonna go back up here and then sit here. Try this again anyhow. This was a little more comfy than down there. I'll take my fucking picnic blanket and put it on my balls. Go ahead and grab the old V-belt here. Something like so. Oh yeah, yeah, no, that'll do. I'll be able to relax like that. Fucking A. All right, let's try her again. Just for shits and giggles, if there's enough cranking power in there to get her to fire. I don't know, we haven't been going at her for very long, so I don't think it's gonna be enough, but fuck's sake, there goes that nut. But we're gonna go ahead and just give her a crank and see what happens. What do you guys think? Think there's enough in there? I don't think so. Yeah! Yeah! Alrighty, well there you go. There's your answer. Can you fuck, now there ain't no fucking belt on it right now, we unhooked it. But there you go. I charged the battery up enough that we're able to fucking get the fucking charge. That's awesome. But I did get her to go without, with a chainsaw. That's pretty good. Well, let's kill it and see if we can't get it to start again with the alternator going. We gotta do her quick because the battery's gonna be kind of half-ass dying the whole time. All right, so the belt is re-rallied. Let's see if there's enough fucking get up and go in there to blow her socks off again. Come on, girl. Don't fucking pet her.
Piece of shit.
There ain't enough juice in it. Now, a normal guy in a normal loop tube video will go ahead and fire it up and maybe throw a jumper pack on there. But this fat cripple is gonna show you how it's done. I'm gonna go back out there, pull the belt back off, and we're gonna spin that fucking alternator until we get enough fucking charging bolts. So let's top the saw back off, because technically I won this war. I did win it, but I didn't win her all the way with the belt re-rallied, and that's just fucking cheating. All right, we got the belt up again. We're gonna put the more 1203 back in the old steel here and get back to her. I gotta find the belt again. Oh, melting the rad on the old Ferd from the exhaust off the chainsaw. That's fine. There's a lot of burnt rubber in here. If you guys weren't 100% sure I was a Ferd guy, you might figure that I was doing Dodge stuff in here. So I think we got her charged up enough. Look at the fucking hole I melted to the rad. We're gonna have to grab the old Princess Auto JB weld and go over that a little bit, but that's fine. I'm gonna put the belt on. All right, how much smoke did I breathe in of the saw gas variety? All of it. All right, put the belt back on. Get my picnic blanket out of here. Alrighty, so meow. We'll hook this guy up quick. My stupid daytime running lights are fucking what's left of my battery. All right, let's see if she goes. Man. There you go. Well, that's charging 14.2. Man, belt's back on her. You're good to go home. Fuck yeah. Alrighty, well, we're gonna kill the old battery. Kill the truck, turn on all the lights, and we're gonna let this battery die once again. That's gotta be good for the old Series 31. Oh yeah. Oh, you hear all the relays bobbing and booping? They don't like what's going on with that low voltage and all the light bars and shit on. Won't even fire the front ones. Is it firing the back ones? You don't need to worry about being hard on the electrical. So let's just say this. if you were trying to take the old skin flute into Tuna Town the night before,
What do you say we go back to my place? I'll show you my cannelloni.
and the old lady wasn't having it,
I find you disgusting.
the minute you come down from that engine compartment smelling like diesel, two-stroke smoke, the engine's running and she's going home, you're gonna get a piece.
Put a bag on my head.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's fucking impressive. All right, did I fuck my saw up? I put the chain back on her. Let's do the drop test. Oh, still lots of compression. We're good to go. We didn't kill the saw, but it does definitely look like there was a Dodge Guy truck meet here with all the burnt rubber and this, that, and the other, but I mean, that's fine. Oh, it doesn't look like a Dodge Guy truck meet just yet. Hold on. There, now it looks like a Dodge Guy truck meet. You got the lube, you got the rubber fist, and there's burnt rubber everywhere. I mean, that's the sickest dope. It's the KFC bucket range of every stick dope dog in the stick dope. Oh, it's squatted. Oh, it's sick and dope.
Take it away from me. I'm sorry, I love you. You gotta get out of here. I can't breathe.
I hate to be that old guy that's always saying back in my day, but back in my day, squatting your pickup means you were hauling a load of gravel, hauling a camper, hauling 1-ton Tanya. You didn't purposely kill the springs in your truck just so you can be sicky dope trick dog dope. Like what's wrong with these kids these days? All right, well meow. Let's say, for example, a feller did not have a chainsaw and a V-belt with him. I always have a chainsaw and I always have a V-belt. I did not have two V-belts. I killed not one, but two V-belts doing this, right? So I didn't have two. I'm unprepared. I'm not lying to you fellas. I'd probably be able to make this work to get her running. I mean, I did have this left and, you know, I would be able to get this to work, I would say so. If I was in a pinch, you know, and push came to shove, I'd be able to make this dingle, but I don't have it. But let's say I didn't have any V-belt. I got no V-belt. I'm V-beltless. Man, I am right tuned up on leaded race gas right now. Like it's proper. I'm feeling pretty good. Hold on here. Oh, what a treat. A lot of fellas out there saying, hey, if you end up burning yourself through a bunch of galvanized steel, you want to go in the house and drink some milk. Well, if you end up burning yourself through a bunch of leaded race gas, Miller Lite is known to clear that right out of your system.
Science!
Write that down. So let's say, for example, you do not have a chainsaw and a V-belt handy. And that happens, that'll happen. Or you didn't bring gas, or your saw won't start, something like that. You're still fucked. You're on the bush, battery's dead, truck will not start. So what else do you got? So you're with your drunk buddies, right? You're with your drunk ass buddies, and maybe he's one of those fucking guys that likes to go to the gym. A bunch of them fucking muscle triplicating, bar eating guys that can't even fucking bend over far enough to wipe their ass. Maybe you got one of those guys with you. Well, let's see if you can get your truck running with one of those guys. So you're sitting there saying, Pegaling, what the fuck you talking about? How are you gonna get your old Ferd running with a dead battery with old muscle triplicator Bar McGee? Well, I'll show you. Well, I'm not really muscle triplicator Bar McGee. I'm more of fat cripple Terry Fox, but I think I might be able to get this old fucking goose to cook. All right, so you're gonna wanna go to Princess Auto, buy yourself a bunch of ratchet straps. You're gonna wanna buy the long ones. And if you don't have the long ones, you're gonna wanna buy yourself a bunch of the short ones. Tie a knot in there. All right, my favorite part of the video is I get to lay on the floor and be a fat walrus.
The Army was trying to create an elite group of Arctic commandos. They called it Operation Infinite Walrus.
Crank this guy out. Now you're gonna wanna have a good purchase on this. What for, yeah, if it comes off of here, you're probably gonna have a bad time.
That's called foreshadowing.
All right, come over here and grab yourself a chunk of dirty old Pinocchio pecker. You guys ever hang out with those guys? I don't know if you're one of those guys or you hang out with one of those guys, but they seem to spray or douse themselves or whatever it is in way too much Cologne. Like to the point where it's burning your eyes just to hang out with the guy. Like what in the sweet fiddler's fuck is that? Like buddy, relax. It stinks. No one likes that. My buddy Man Bear Pig.
It is half man, half bear, and half pig.
I love the guy, but when he was a young man,
Bear Pig,
I come out of my trailer. I lived in town, when I first moved to the old, the promised land of Alberta. What does that mean by promised land? Well, they promise that if you come here from any other province and start bitching about Alberta, they'll tell you to get fucked. But old Man Bear Pig was standing, well, I was downwind of him, but I was about 40, 50 feet away from him, and I could smell them Guido smelling fuck getting out of the pickup truck. It was hideous. Do women like guys that smell like that? Because the guy smelled like a chemical fucking waste dump for Fox Creek. So you're gonna wanna jack off here.
Hey, Leela, check it out. I'm jacking off.
And get your truck in the air, about as high as this jack will go. So I have no idea if this is gonna work or if I'm gonna die, but we're gonna fuck around and find out together. All right, so we got the old skiddy here, parked sideways, so she can't get any momentum to fuck off forward. That's good, that's all the safety. So next thing you wanna do is go change your GoPro battery again, because it's a piece of fucking shit.
Gonna get a fucking high,
Oh, yeah? You're on video.
Oh, yeah? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing videos.
Doing bitches?
Doing videos. Hey, how would you get an old Ferd to start with a ratchet strap and a bottle jack?
I gotta get to start with a ratchet strap and a bottle jack?
Yeah, and a hand job and a sheet of plywood and a leather glove.
And a leather glove and a hand job and a sheet of plywood. Ah.
All right, well that was my brother from the same mother. He's out operating. All right, so we got the ratchet strap. We got the Princess Auto fucking giving her all the way bottle jack. So meow, what we're gonna wanna do is wrap this on here. So anybody that's a man has had an implement of gas burning variety that the fucking rewind blows apart on. And he's gone ahead and wrapped the rope on that 100 times. Well, basically we're gonna do that, but with a 10,000 pound truck. So we're gonna wanna take this guy. So when we pull on it backwards, the wheel's gonna go forward, right? So we're gonna wanna just wrap her around here, real safe like. Now I don't know if we're gonna have to tie 2 ratchet straps together on this or what, but we'll fuck around and we'll find out here. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, oh yeah, we got her. So I do owe this part of the video to Too Cheap to Smoke. If you guys don't know who that guy is and you don't watch his videos, let me tell you this, you're missing out. That guy's a fucking beauty. So we got that wrapped around there. We're gonna want to open the door of the old Ferd here. So the truck's dead. Keys turned forward. We got nothing. Headlights, everything's absolutely dead, right? So meow, you're gonna take your fast idle stick. We're gonna give her 5th gear to start. Obviously clutch is out. And we're gonna give her fast idle about 1/3 of the way down. So if this thing does start, it's gonna be fucking violent. But I mean, that's mint. Don't worry, we got a skid steer here in the way to protect us. There's all kinds of safety going on. Now, I don't know exactly how hard this is gonna be to spin over. There's gonna be a lot of learning and fucking around and finding out here. But yeah, let's just fuck around and find out. What we're gonna do actually is we're gonna take another ratchet strap and hook it to that ratchet strap so we can, what do you guys hear that? The old Max Force leaving the driveway. We're gonna wanna take another ratchet strap. Good thing I go to Princess Auto and buy this thing all the time. And add that to the pile. So I don't actually know if you're gonna need to be a muscle-bound mofo to get this done, but let's just see if I can. Oh, I got the engine to move over. Now, if anybody knows anything about a differential, what happens is when one wheel's off the ground and only one's spinning, what you're getting is a double reduction or a double increase on this way. So drive shaft comes in and goes into your pinion. Your pinion drives your crown gear, right? Well, then you got your side gears. Well, if you ever guys notice, when a truck's doing a burnout and it's burning that inside tire, it's going twice as fast because all of the power is being transferred from both tires to one.
Right, another fucking mongoloid.
So I think what'll happen is I'm increasing my gear ratio by having only one tire off the ground. It do have a limited slip in it, but the fuckery of it is, the limited slip in this thing, much like every limited slip in this era, it's fucked. So if I try to spin both tires, one will just spin one way, one will spin the other way. So I'd actually have to spin both tires at the same time to get what needs done. We'll give that a try if we gotta give that a try. We got 2 bottle jacks, remember? So, but right now, we're just gonna hook my fat ass on the end of that tow rope, open the door, so in case I go hobbling as fast as I can, I don't just run into the fucking door, and we'll give her all the way. Isn't that right, Willard? Willard, there's a chance that I could win the stunned word of the day right now, all right, bud? All right, well, let's see what happens. And now, let's get this guy over here. Ugh. Oh, yeah, no, we're not gonna be able to get her to start like so. That sucks. I wonder if a guy had a Ronda. But you know, you're down at the river. You could have a Ronda. So let's go grab Ronda. Let's just see. Because my fat ass doesn't have enough get up and go. So Ronda is gonna take the place of that muscle-bound motherfucker that you brought down to the river with you. Ronda. Oh, there she is. We got a side wheelie a little bit, remember? Side wheelie, wheelie. Oh yeah, what a treat. All right, so we got a Ronda. You know, a lot of guys do go down the river with their Rondas, the big red Hondas. Oh, she doesn't need a choke right now. There, so you do go down to the river with Rhonda. Maybe you got a dirt bike, whatever the fuck you got, but usually you got that shit. Let's see if we can't fire it up, because my fat crippled ass doesn't have enough get up and go to yank on this wheel with the gear ratio at hand. Now, if you guys are smart, go ahead and write in the comment section what the fuck's going on with the gear ratios. Am I lower geared or higher geared with the way I'm doing it? We're gonna try with both wheels off the ground after, but we'll just see what happens here, meow. If something gets wrapped up in here, there's a good chance I could die. All right, well, let's engage Rhonda and see if we can't get her to fire. This isn't even that sketchy. All right, let's do her. Pull her tight. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Because I tied the rope like a mongoloid.
What is it with you anyway? Somebody drop you on your fucking head?
There, let's try it again, shall we? All right, we're wheeling it a little bit. Oh, maybe get a little run at it, maybe? That's not dangerous, right? Oh, yeah, it worked. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. All right, that's not dangerous. There you go. We got her going. All right, let's see here. All right, well, the truck is on. Take her out of gear, you know, for safety. So we got that going. So meow, if you want to get yourself some voltage, so your voltage isn't charging, right? We went over this before. You're gonna need to excite your alternator. So you see the headlights aren't on. We got no power. All right, you can see here on the dash, key is on. Still, no power, right? So here you go. You take your Milwaukee battery, hook her up to power, hook her up to ground, and watch this fucking volt gauge here. Headlights are on, 14 volts, you're fucking good to go. There you go, you just let her charge. Even got light bars in the back. Mint. Perfect. Oh, we'll leave them batteries go again. We want to kill it again. So there you go. If you got a Rhonda, you can get her running. Rhonda gets her running. So my brain can't really wrap its fucking mind around what the fuck's going on. I'm pretty sure. You guys in the comments, let me know what you figure. But I think with the spider gears in there, side gears, wherever you prefer, I think with those guys in there, it's increasing the gear ratio. So instead of 410s, we got 205s trying to drive the drive shaft. I think that's what's happening. I think. I'm also stunned.
That is correct.
But what we're gonna do, we'll jack up the other side, meow. We'll run 2 ratchet straps and we'll see if it's not half as easy or twice as easy to get it to fucking run with just ratchet straps. Now remember, whenever you're running heavy equipment, trikes, trucks, and all kinds of stuff with ratchet straps, stay hydrated. We don't want you guys dying from thirst here. What's the Leatherman counter at right now? All of it. I mean, every time you tie it on a ratchet strap, you gotta cut her off. There's been some weekends after some beer drinking, old Rhonda here had titty tassels hanging off her every which way. That's just the way she goes. All right, I do have another bottle jack in there. Fuck it. You guys seen it? I could use it. I'm not gonna use it. I'm using this floor jack because fuck you, I'm crippled. Way more awesomer. Bottle jacks do have a lot of get up and go though. Then you got all 1-ton Tanya up in the box, all excited squirting KFC gravy. I mean, bottle jack does do a little better job than the old floor jack. All right, we got it jacked up. These mud flaps are pissing me off. I'm gonna put some holes in them and get them up out of the way. Now, if you youngins are watching this, you don't know what I'm doing. They sell these at old Princess Auto, or I don't know if they sell them at fucking Hazard Fart, but you put them on a block of wood and you're able to pound holes through rubber. Oh, and without using a drill bit. Everybody uses a drill bit, end up fiddle fucking around, and well, it doesn't usually work that good. You get a metal splinter again. Now the trick to the old splinters in your fingers is you don't even worry about trying to pick them out. You just find the chunk of meat wherever she's at, and then you just lathe it right off, and it'll grow back. Don't do that with your right leg though. It won't grow back. There we go. Oh, there. There, now the meat's gone, the metal splinter's gone, and you're good to go. Just showing you guys all the tips today. All right, I'm gonna have to call my brother here in a bit and tell him that it was a ratchet strap, a bottle jack, and a Ronda. Because I know that minty prick's out driving around in the oil field right now, scratching his head going, how in the sweet fiddler's fuck did he use that to get her going? If we can do it with just a ratchet strap and 2 bottle jacks, I mean, we ain't lying to a feller. Alrighty, well, we got her strapped up. Most important thing is, didn't get any dirt in my beer. And we're not drinking PC Light here. You can't get dirt in the Miller. All right, so meow, we're gonna take 2 of the 25 footers, wrap them up in the middle, and then we'll have 1 center strap. We'll go off each one. This is gonna tell us on if there was, if the feller was right about the, was the e-brake on? No. No, it wasn't on, thank fuck. But it'll tell us if we were right about the gear ratio. Alrighty, so on a scale of 1 to retarded, I think I put it all the way to 11. I wrapped the ratchet strap around the tire, like I showed. I pulled it with Ronda, and I was able to get it to start. The problem is...
he's a fucking retard.
I had the transfer case in 4 low. So when I limped the old Ferd into the shop, I always like to have her in 4 low. You know, it's nice to go around the yard. Because it's a Ford, you can unlock the hub, and it's basically like 2 low, right? But I'm stunned, and I had it in 4 low. So the gear increase into the engine would have been redonkulous. Since we got her ass in the air, we'll do both tires, and then see if she won't shoot you off here. All right, I got them both linked together. I gotta get a little slack out of her. So I'm able to roll the engine over just by pulling on her like that. And you can feel the compression stroke in the engine. All right, so we'll tie those 2 together like so. And now we'll tie this ratchet strap to those ratchet straps like so. So now when we yank on this guy, it's pulling on both tires. So let's see if we can't get her to fire with just old cripple power here.
He is so stupid.
What do you guys think? Am I too crippled? Yeah, definitely too crippled. Let's just see here. Let's pull it a little more. A little more. Come on.
Look what the cripple! Oh, shit!
No, ain't happening. So let's just drop one side and see if I can't. I don't know how that gear reduction thing's gonna work with the one side. I bet you if you had 2 guys yanking on this thing, it could go. We'll drop that side down. Now we just got the one to deal with. Now, if a guy wasn't so fucking crippled, he could probably get this guy, but let's just see. Nothing. Can't get her to go. What's for being stunned? All right, so I can't get her to go, well, for being stunned, but let's just see here if I can hook onto this guy. Now I do have, so if you had a guy that could run the clutch, maybe this might work. But as far as pulling on it, like you see, I can wheel it over, no problem. But it's just the get up and go. I don't got it. I can kind of turn it over, but it won't fire. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, if a guy had another guy with 2 legs, he could probably pull her no problem. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd be screwed. Oh, but if a guy had a quad or a dirt bike, he'd be good to go. All right, well, let's see if a guy just had a dirt bike. Could a guy do it with a dirt bike? I mean, the guy's always got a dirt bike on him, right? Let's see here. Alrighty, the old KLR, she's doing just fine. Oh, what a treat this old lure is. All right, so what we got here, meow, is basically my extra set of legs. So if you had 2 guys pulling on 1 toe strap, you should be able to get her going. Let's just see here. Pull her tight there. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, she didn't go. Now, this would be a lot easier with a VE pump engine. Those things start if you just fart in the fan. Alrighty, so that didn't work with the KLR first glance. Now I think it's because the engine's not rolling over fast enough. Because before it would have been in 4 low and would have rolled over way faster. Because being that the gear reduction. But being that we're in 4 high, meow, it's probably not wheeling over fast enough. But the draw on the string is a lot less. So what that means is we need more speed.
I needed more of a running start. I couldn't build up enough speed.
Because that's what you're gonna want. A cripple on a bike, more speed on the end of a tow rope that's pulling an engine over. Because we know we're all about safety here. Oh yeah, I got her going. Oh yeah, that's not dangerous at all. Yeah, there you go. You don't need to worry about getting stuck into the tire. What you doing? Oh yeah, so she's dead again. We're gonna have to go excite the alternator. That's fine. We'll excite the old alternator. No bolts. All the bolts. Yes. So there you go. If you had a buddy that had 2 legs that could help you pull a ratchet strap, you'd be able to get her going. Or if you're able to get some kind of run at it or some kind of thing, but there you go, that's your answer. You might need a dirt bike or a Ronda, but you can get your truck running. Alrighty, well, let's kill it again. Leave the batteries on, leave everything on, let her die again, because we got one more test we got to do. But before we carry on with the next test, so this would have worked just fine, I think this would have worked just fine if this was a VE motor and it didn't have as much timing in it. The timing in this thing's about 20 degrees. I'm guessing if you back the timing off to stock, which is 14.5, it might do it, but it would definitely do it if it was a VE engine. VE engines, you fart in a fan and them old pricks will fire up. So my final conclusion on that, A, you got to grow an extra leg if you're a cripple, and B, or 9, or whatever day we're on, you just use your dirt bike or your trike or your big muscly buddy, because yeah, my fat crippled ass ain't doing it. So we use the KLR to get it running. You know, we pull started it with that. We use Ronda to pull start it in 4 low, well 2 low. It got it running, which is kind of crazy. No wonder it was so hard to pull. Now what we're gonna use is wall gas. Now you're sitting there wondering, saying, Peg, what the fuck wall gas? Well, wall gas is electricity. Now, obviously the starter runs off electricity, and it does a good job of getting this thing running when it's not dead. But let's say you're a cock tractor or something like that, and you got all your tools with you in the truck. Well, if you got all your Milwaukee tools with you in the truck, chances are you got a couple of batteries, right? All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna rough this up a little bit. Got to repair the radiator damage before we continue on with anything else. Oh yeah, didn't even go all the way through the tank. We're golden. A little bit of Cosby sauce to clean her up. A little bit of that. Oh yeah, a little bit of JB Weld action. We'll be golden. You don't need to worry about radiator tanks. Go until she's gray. Oh, P Auto had the old quick set shit on sale. I mean, if you're not burning the shit out of your radiator reservoir with a chainsaw trying to get it running, can you really call yourself a man? All right, so going back to the wall gas. As far as I know, electricity, when you add up more voltage, it decreases the amount of current that you need. So basically, the amount of wire that you need coming off of it. So if you had high voltage going into a low voltage starter, you don't need as big as cable. So as the voltage goes up, the size of the cable can go down, from what I've understood. That's why like your transformers and stuff, the voltage coming into it is like 6 gabillion volt, but it's thrown through a wire this big, right? When it goes into the transformer, it steps down to your 220 for us North Americans, and then comes to your power panel. So long story short, the wires coming from the transformer to the power panel are usually fucking huge depending on how far they run. But when it transforms from high voltage to lower voltage, it needs a bigger wire, and it has more current behind it. That's what I think that's what's going on. I'm pretty fucking stunned. I don't really know all the fucking magical fucking pixie dust of all the dick electrical wall gas, but what I can tell you is that I'm all about fucking around and finding out. So what we're gonna do is let's picture it this way. You're a contract, or you're a field mechanic, your truck dead, and you usually carry Milwaukee batteries with you, right? So see what I got in here for Milwaukee. I think I carry 2 or 3 depending on the day. So let's see here. Oh, I had this one, I had one in my tire pump, and I had that one that we were using up front. But all you're gonna need for this is some wire, lots of wire and a couple connections. So in the name brand of fucking around and finding it out, I did bring a starter. I bought a starter off Amazon. They got pretty good starters on there. So I bought a new starter, so we can give her all the way with this. I mean, if you're gonna give her, you might as well give her all the way. Oh, some assholes talking shit behind my back. So we got the battery disconnected. So meow, what we're gonna wanna run is some jumper cables. So we got that guy hooked up there, and now we're gonna wanna daisy chain 3 Milwaukee batteries together via these connectors. So this is gonna be one of them instances where a feller might wanna really engage his safety squints. All right, so as she sits right meow, we got 3 batteries wired up. Now let's just see here. Now we should have about 60 volts coming out of here. 58.8 or 56.8 volts coming out of 3 batteries. Now coming out of 2 batteries, we got 40 volts. And out of 1 battery, we got 16 volts. So this guy's got 16 in her. Wonder how much power is left in it. Oh, it's fucking dead. So we'll swap it out for a new one here. Let's just fucking give her all the way with 60 volts and see what happens. Do you think it's gonna start it? Who knows? Only one way to find out. So that guy's hooked to ground. Oh, if I put power to this guy, it should engage the starter. It should. But 60 volts, there's gonna be all kinds of sparks going on. All right, so let's just hook this guy up. Shouldn't be any sparks just yet. So when we hook this to this solenoid, we should have crank. And welding. Oh, I can't see shit all of a sudden. I'm seeing spots right now real bad. Like real bad. So when I hook this up, should crank the engine. 60 volts going to the starter. You guys ready? The starter does not like that. We got smoke going on somewhere. We got no connection here anymore. Is it here? Did I just burn something up? I think I might have just burnt the starter up. Oh, these wires are getting a little toasty already. Is it? Well, that battery's dead, that battery's dead, and that battery's dead. So I've killed all 3 batteries in that short amount of time. For test purposes, let's just see if it's the starter or the I think we killed all 3 of them batteries. They did not like putting out all that power. All right, now we got that hooked up. We'll just see if it cranks. If it's the starter we killed or the Milwaukee's. I think we killed the Milwaukee's. Yeah, the starter's still good. So what we got here, we got one that's dead. This guy's fucked and this guy's fucked. Let's just see what happens when we put it on the charger. First fuck battery. It said it's charged. That's probably not good. Does it still work at a tool? How is it working? Oh, now it's good. Does this thing, do they have like a fault thing that shorts them out if you hook them up backwards? Is this one good? Well, this one's dead. Let's see what happens when you put this one on the charger. Is it doing? Did it restart it? Oh, for Fox Creek, is it dead? That one's fucked. That one's good. Apparently this thing didn't want to party with 60 volts. All right, so maybe 60 volts isn't good. So I wonder if we hooked up 12 volts, well, if we're doing, or 20 volts. Yeah, let's try 20 volts in parallel, but with lots of Milwaukee battery. Alrighty, it's the next day now. I cleaned up some of my junk that was laying around. We still have to dial some batteries together to see if we can't get that old pile of shit to start. But, well, last night while I was having a dirty old post-game beer and dialing the old saw in, I went to old P Auto, their bench-mounted chain sharpener. Man, I bought this a while ago. I almost got the fucking thing wore out. And man, you can just dial through rock, shitty old Ferds, all kinds of stuff, and then bring the old saw chain right back to brand new. I'm getting pretty good at it. So yesterday when we were doing the video, it was what was it, plus 16 out communist measurements. Sun was shining, minty as fuck. This morning, what is it, minus 15 out for Fox Creek.
What the fuck is this?
Well, I don't really know the fucking communist fucking conversion for it, but it's fucking cold out. And if Willard had balls, they'd freeze to the fucking forks. But we gotta go for a dump trip this morning. Figure we might as well fire up old Dick and do a cold start on her. Is she gonna need Cosby sauce with her dog? Is she addicted?
Okay, crank her up.
Come on.
Choke her up, she's cold.
Come on.
There's condensation on the plug.
Oh. Come on. There. She's gonna go. Is she gonna go, numbnuts? Are you fucking stunned? Fuck it! Come on! Come on! Oh, she's shooting. Fucking struggling. She's not though.
All right, move out. Get us out of here.
I guess it's not addicted. And I guess you guys are fucking stunned. Oh, it's even got oil pressure. Fuck yeah. Alrighty, well, meow. We can get back to our previously scheduled programming of this old pile of shit. So we left off by completely writing off a $300 battery. I got her sitting over here by the front door. I trust these about as much as I can trust a fucking politician. Batteries light on fire. There's no fucking argument in that. So that's why I actually have all my batteries in these metal cabinets now. In case they do fucking light on fire, hopefully it doesn't burn my shop down. I don't trust those fucking things. They're junk. That's why we gotta burn diesel and gas instead of that fucking garbage that'll burn your ass. Fucking stupid fucking wall gas. What is that? JB welded this thing to my ass for Fox Creek. Oh yeah. So I got the fucking tank all JB welded up. If this isn't a fucking strong message for don't drink and JB weld, I don't know what it is. It'll be fine. So what we're gonna do, Meow, go back to the batteries, but I'm not really afraid of putting 20 volts to a 12 volt system. I mean, they like that. I'm pretty sure they like that. But we'll put 20 volts to her and it'll make the candle light a little brighter, but you know, no big deal. We had the Milwaukee's rigged up in series before. So what we're doing in series is we're taking the voltage and we're doubling it every time. So instead of 20 volts, it was 40 volts or 60 volts, depending on how many batteries we put in there. So Meow, we're gonna do parallel. We'll see what parallel will do with the same amount of batteries. And that should be a lot less hard on the last battery in the lineup. But we're gonna need more wires. Alrighty, so we got all the negatives hooked together, all the positives hooked together, and these things are pretty fucking dangerously close to each other, but I mean, that's fine. Now we'll have 20 volts and all kinds of fucking cold cranking amps. So let's see what'll happen here. So we should have 20 volts here, Meow. So let's just see what the fuck happens when we hook it up. We're just turning all the lights on. So everything's running on 20 volts right now. So I'm gonna, before we kill the damn thing, let's see if she cranks. Oh, it says it's got, on the old amp gauge, it says we got 18 volts. I mean, that's fine. Let's just see what happens.
Beats hard.
Yeah, that's not enough to get up and go with the old starter. So now the only thing we can do, Meow, is just add more batteries. So we got 5 batteries. Yeah, we're just gonna keep adding more and more and more because this feller doesn't have a whole lot of quit in him, unlike a Dodge transmission.
Nailed it.
Gonna be a lot of wires going on. Eventually, we're gonna equal up to the amount of how big these fucking jumper cables are with the 10 gauge here. Let's see if 4 or 5 of these batteries will fire up this dirty old Ferd. All the amps on the gauge. Let's just see here. Will she start? Nope, it's got a little bit of crank to her. Let's see. No. As I sit here wiring up all of my Milwaukee batteries, I'm sitting here remembering, so I don't know how long you guys have been watching the channel for. A lot of you guys have been here for a while. I did a video where I went and revived an 88, or it was a 90, 1990. Was it the 90 or? Yeah, it was the 90 because all the tires blew off.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
I got a bit of a flat here. I mean, what is a bit of a flat? All right, well this tire's fucked, but it did something I've never seen done before. Blew the steering shock right the fuck out of the old horse. God damn it. We had some bad luck, and now we got some even shittier luck. Yeah, you see that right there? You see that? Oh, fuck. Now that's the last of my front left tire. Cock sucker! So all the tires blew off of that old Ferd. That was a 1990 F350 dually, and I was actually parked at a diner at Edmonton, Alberta, and I was in there enjoying myself, a BLT. And when I hobbled out into the parking lot, some lady asked me. She says, "Would you like a fire extinguisher?" I said, "Well, I'm pretty fucking hot, but I'm not that hot." Then she proceeds to gesture towards the rickshaw. Well, lo and behold, I went and opened up the door to the said rickshaw. Something had lit on fire in the interior and it completely melted together almost every Milwaukee tool that I had. Went in for some lunch before I fucked off from old Shitty City here. And if you notice, the rickshaw's windows are kind of tinted, like really tinted. Turns out one of my Milwaukee batteries decided to light on fire and it lit everything in the back seat on fire. I got a bunch of my fucking good Milwaukee drill. Oh yeah, look at this fucking piece of art. A good milk crate's gone. Look at this. Oh yeah, she'll still cheech. Oh, even a good roll of Toby tape, my good roll of wire, my good fucking picnic blanket. That nice picnic blanket I found at the dump. It's the fucking way she goes. Even my new compressor got it. It was all my M12s. It was my impact, my drill, and a couple other, my 3/8 impact, my drill, and I think it was one of my ratchets that got melted. I don't remember exactly. So I did that, and I killed most of my M12 tools. And a week later, after the video dropped, some minty fucking prick sent me a bunch of batteries, a bunch of, two guys sent me a bunch of M12 batteries, and a couple of drills, a couple of impacts, and I couldn't fucking believe it. So if you guys are watching that right meow, I appreciate the fuck out of you. And all the things that you sent, well, I'm probably gonna fuck them up right now, but I mean, that's just the way she goes. I don't know what's going on here. I think that's hooked up right. This looks like a fucking nightmare. We got a full tank of gas on all these batteries. Let's try her again. How much on the volt gauge? Oh, it's making things twerk. Like everything's kind of jumping and moving around. Is this? Oh, my stereo doesn't work anymore. So that's probably not good. But let's just try firing it up. Oh, it's making the starter make a weird noise. So you guys see my fucking wipers? Look how fast they go. That's on low. Let's see what they do on fast. Oh, that's awesome. How much voltage? All of it. I mean, we're definitely pressure testing the old Dick electrical system on the Ferd here. Yeah, there's not enough crankage going on now. I wonder if that's, I don't know what the fuck that noise is. It's probably electrical noise from all the electrical going through it. I don't know what that noise is. Do you guys hear it? If I can hear it, it's bad, because I'm fucking deaf.
You couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
This battery connection is getting hot. Now, usually when something's getting hot, it's what for the connection being dog shit. And that's exactly what's going on. So inside of here is loose. Inside of here is pretty tight. Let's see. Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, these fucking jumper cables are sacked out already. Junk. All right, so instead of fixing those guys, I went and grabbed a set of dirty old dump ones that I found a while ago.
Yeah, well.
The dump provide. And snip the ends off one side. You gotta love dump cables. See, yeah, what we're gonna do is just tape all of this together and in hopes of a good connection. So all these batteries are still at full chooch. Let's see what happens, meow, with better connections. All right, let's do it. Oh, lots of sparks come out of the hood. There's a lot of sparks going on under here. I think it's because the connection is shit. Bingo. Oh yeah, all the sparks coming out of there. So, being the connection sucks ass, and it's just letting all the smoke out. So what we're gonna do, meow, is make a better connection. All right, so I went and hammered a couple battery lugs on there of the non-shitty connection variety. I smell ozone, or whatever the fuck that is when batteries aren't hooked up right, but that's fine. See what happens, meow. Good connection, all the amps, all the connection. Oh yeah! There you fucking go. Now let's see how many. Let's see how many all the electrical in the truck is not having a good time. It's almost like stuff doesn't like to run off all the voltage. So we got a good connection on here. So that's what it was the whole time. It was a fucking shitty connection. So let's unhook batteries. So unhook this one. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay? We got 3 batteries unhooked. So meow, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4 hooked up. So let's see if she starts off 4. 4 Milwaukee's. Fucking cranks just fine. Man. All right, we got to go down from there now. I can't believe how well it cranks. Do you think the battery here is sucking all the voltage out of these batteries and like making its own charge? I don't know. But one hook that guy, meow, and that guy. So now we only got 1, 2, we got 2 Milwaukee's hooked up, but only 2. So let's see if it'll start off 2. How in the sweet fiddlers?
It's not melting my brain, it's blowing my mind.
But the voltage is down now, so I'm gonna guess that the batteries on the floor have discharged enough into the Series 31 that we're at a proper voltage now. So let's shut her off again. Now we'll unhook the last 2 batteries and just see if it'll start. So now none of these are hooked up. The headlights are still on. So that means that that big battery's got some charge to it. So let's see if it'll crank. So what happened is the Milwaukee's transferred their 20 volts of juice into the 12 volt battery, and now she's able to crank and start. That's crazy. Well, it did run a little bit, so it would have charged it up a little bit, but that's wild. I didn't think that would happen. So we'll let this battery die off again. I'm gonna head to the dump. Well, I'm gonna let the battery die off, and then we'll see. We'll start out with 1, and then we'll work our way up to 3. This is mint. I did not think that would happen. Oh, it burnt out a couple of my clearance plates, and they might have been dead already, but that's fine.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Girl, check your luck. I was born to fuck. I guess it's because I changed my direction. Drink, thanks, wine, you wrong, smoke. 1973 family tradition, the black gold rush and your diesel burning cat motor crawling in the mud. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. You gotta fucking love dump days. I mean, dump days are a ticket. So there you go. You got the old Ferd started with the chainsaw, mint. You got the old Ferd started with the old killer back there, Rhonda. She fired up mint. Fucking pulled on the old tire with the ratchet strap. I mean, we're good. If you had two guys, I'm thinking if you had a guy on each tire with two ratchet straps yanking, I think it would go. But I'm just a one-legged show, so it's the fucking way she goes. But I do think the two guys could pull start this thing with ratchet straps. And the third one, we went ahead and we dialed her up with fucking a couple Milwaukee batteries. I mean, that's pretty good. So all three that I thought would work, fucking worked. Man, so now you don't have to call the old lady. You don't have to call your mom or your dad or whatever the fuck the case may be to come get your beans out of the fire. You got her fucking mint. So yeah, this is the part of the video, if you're a Patreon, you're the only one that's gonna fucking see this. The fourth way, me and the old fellas were fucking sitting around the old WhatsApp chat last night, and big shout out to Twin Sticks Garage and old Dipshits and Dunlops. We all kind of come up with the idea that we gotta piss with the pecker we were provided, being the 3 Ps, and then having the 7 Ps being the proper previous planning prevents piss poor performance. We got ourselves a fucking saw. The fellas always got himself a saw, full tank of gas, lots of bar oil. The truck's dead, right? She's fucking dead. And we got a bomb start to her. We don't have a ratchet strap. Let's just say there's no way to pull on the tire. Oh, let's just say this. You're a fucking hillbilly cripple and you can't pull on the tire good enough because you just don't have the get up and go. The ratchet strap trick won't work because you don't have a Rhonda, you don't have a muscle triplicator freak with fucking neck tattoos and all the sticky dopes and fucking big 22-inch rims, and you don't have a fucking a 650 KLR to pull on the tire. But you still got the jack, and you still got the chainsaw, and you still got gravity. So what we figured on the old WhatsApp chat is if we can get this old Ferd blocked up on enough dunnage that it'll roll down the dunnage and you're able to bomb start the fucking thing in 4th gear. So we got to give it a try. So this might not work if you live in a desolate shithole like Manitoba or something like that where there's never any fucking trees, but every time I go down to the old Riviera or go down drinking, I usually like to be surrounded by old Pinocchio peckers. So, and no, not the Dodge variety Pinocchio pecker, but there's usually a fuck pile of trees laying around, and I like fiddle fucking with a chainsaw. So now what we gotta do is just go get ourselves a little piece of Pinocchio pecker to jam onto the tire. So we're gonna need a big old fucking girthy log, right?
That's exactly what you said.
We're gonna need a big girthy one that's gonna be able to get the truck as high as we can. So probably like, what's that, like 68 inches?
Keep telling yourself that.
So we're gonna wanna have her minty as fuck on that. So the thing we're gonna wanna build would be one motherfucker of a ramp. So I'm gonna have to go out, cut down a fucking tree, piss Greta right off, and then get her jamming underneath the truck. Now I figured to get her up on the ramps, being that we have the jack, we're gonna need to have some dunnage for that, but we, you know, a feller like myself always has chunks of wood in the box. That's not enough wood to do it, but
I believe that's what she said.
feller always has chunks of wood in the box, so as you jack it up, you can block it. So jack it, block it, jack it, and then get the truck in the air enough to go onto these ramps that we're about to make. But first, we gotta get some Pinocchio pecker.
I'm wearing ladies' underwear.
Are you?
I most certainly am not.
All right, well, if you're anything like myself, you're a fat cripple, and you don't want to walk 6,000 times back and forth down to get the tree, so we'll just take little Dick. All right, so we're on the south side of the dirt here. Now we're gonna want to find a tree that's big as fuck, and this one will fit, and that's not at risk of falling on anything. So I mean, if it falls on the skidder or the 300, it ain't gonna hurt it. And yeah, it does have my no trespassing fucking sign on it, but it's half gone, so fuck it. With any luck, I should be able to fucking lay her down this way and not have any chance of hitting fuck all. So all you professional wood fucker uppers out there, you gotta give this old cripple a rating on how I cut this fucking thing down with the old back cut and the wedge and whatnot. I don't know how big this fucker is, but I don't know. That's my fist. That's about as big as they get here in old Alberta. So Lord willing, knock on wood, this thing doesn't barber chair an old cripple and go fucking off towards the old Ferd or the, you know, that Ferd or something like that. Then I'm getting fucked up. We'll get a Dodge out of the way. So let's fucking give her professional wedge here. Oh yeah, mint. All right, you know what? I actually changed my mind. I'm gonna move the Dodge out of the way and I'm gonna lay it down that way. All right, we got the Dodge out of the way. Let's get the cutting. For fuck's sake. Oh well, I guess I'm fucking stunned. Guy's got a skidder and can't even cut a tree down properly.
Yeah, that's right, shit for brains. Your soul is dog shit. Every single fucking thing about you is ugly.
I'm gonna go back to the old Echo Shack and drink away my sorrows, I guess. All right, you see, the thing about a simple back cut like this and trying to do the wedges, you can't get enough speed for what I want to do. Wasn't able to dodge that one. What a hot piece of shit. Now the real question is, can a guy R&D out of this? The redneck diamonds are real. Oh, the dash is all fucked up. Fucking Mopar, no car. Ugh. Give you an answer on if chains do their job or not. Holy sweet fiddlers, fuck, she was digging for China.
China. I go to China.
All right, well, this is a bit of a predicament. Now we're gonna have to get the fucking tree off this piece of shit before I park it. But, yeah, at least the tree had a soft landing. Fuck, is this thing a piece of shit. All right, so now that the Dodge is holding it for me, all the wipers are bunged up, they're stunned. All right, so to make a wedge, I'm gonna cut a whatever degree angle that is without trying to do a leg delete, and then ramp it off on each side. Oh yeah, that's a fucking nice ramp right there. And that's certified from a cripple. I mean, I know lots of shit about wheelchair ramps. Alrighty, well we got two ramps, pretty aggressive angle on the fucking things. Oh yeah, will that get your truck going? I don't know. You gotta gently remove that log from that fucking pile of Dodge. Oh, the paint! How's that door gonna do? It doesn't like it. Oh, it really doesn't like it. Just gently pull the roof out over there. Oh. There we go. Oh. Oh, yeah. Fucking man, this is good as she was before. Oh, yeah. Rocket bird. Perfect. All kinds of headroom now. Now we'll just gently pull her out of the hole she's in and call it a day. Come on, you fucking piece of shit. I should be able to rocket barrel out of that. Oh, the windshield is just struggling. Will you go in the box without cutting me?
I cut you up so bad, you gonna wish I know cut you up so bad.
Come on. Perfect. Might have to give this a little skim here in the spring, but right now the redneck diamonds will grow up into a nice tree. Oh, man. All right, well, let's get a rocket barb out of here and go park it and get back to work. The door doesn't shut for shit. Jump! Not a lot of guys know this, but if you unhook the battery in the Dodge, it's less likely to give one of your minty Ferds secondhand electrical problems. All right, we gotta load up our champion ramps, our chainsaw, and the rest of our shit and get the fuck out of here. There's fucking Miller light cans everywhere you look around here. I mean, someone's fucking piss tanking it. All right, let's just see. So this one's got a nice flat bottom, and that one looks good. We have to trim it up a little bit, but this one here, she's got a little dingle on the dangle. We got to buck her off a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed this by the way that ram squished down, but wet poplar, let me tell you this. Oh, she ain't light. All right, so I'll line these up with the back tire, right about there. I think that should be enough distance away from the door. I think this should be enough ramp to get us the speed that we need to get her to go. Now remember, this is all based upon you're stuck in the bush, right? You don't have a lot of shit to work with, just the chainsaw and the jack. All right, so let's back the truck up. Now, if a guy was dedicated to this video, he would definitely push on it instead of driving it. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be a struggle. Nailed it! Now you're gonna wanna go at it from the driver's side with for tightening, not loosening. What do you guys think? Think I'm gonna be able to move it? Or think I'm gonna be fucking old a cripple? Let's just see here. How much torque? All of it on that one nut. Oh yeah, she's mint. Works good. Oh, now we're gonna have to 4x4 it out of that fucking drain. Rocket burp. Come on. One more. Oh. Let's see here. It should be, that's good. Now we're gonna have to block it with something. Had to block it with something. Had to stuff the old wooden leg in there.
I got a lot of things going on in my life recently, and they all sort of culminate when your leg fell off.
All right, let's go get a proper piece of wood now. Oh. When you bump his frog's ass, does he hop? Well, I don't know, but the cripple does when he needs to go over and grab some dunnies with his legs stuck out of the truck. But Lieutenant Dan, you don't have any legs. So you gonna switcheroo here. Oh, man.
Hand me my leg.
You don't need to worry about using your wooden leg for a chalk block on your shitty old Ferd for a lube tube, did ya? It's fine. All right, so meow, we're gonna wanna, as we jack it up, obviously we can't make it up the ramps, but as we jack it up, we'll get it to go farther back and up the ramps. And just think, all you minty Patreons that are watching this, nobody else gets to watch this shit. You guys get the fourth and finale. Just a special tip just for you guys, hey? Eh? Holy fuck, am I out of shape. All right, well, let's get to jacking. And as we jack it up, the truck will go up, slide the ramps, block it, let it down, so on and so forth. Oh man, with this heated floor, went from the wood heat, a cripple's real tempted to have a nap after all them dirty old backhoe beers, I tell you that. I mean, is there anything better than backhoe beers than a shop nap? I don't think there is. Man, these bottle jacks are the Power Fist variety. They're a fucking treat. They go on sale for 45 bucks. And what's she good for? 20 Tanyas or something like that? I don't know, I ripped the fucking label off, but it'll lift up a Tanya. All right, all the way to the top for that guy. So we'll slide the ramp forward. Mint, slide the other ramp forward. Let's just see if this is gonna work. Is it working? Oh yeah, it's working, mint. I know what I'm doing. Ow, my fucking head. Good thing I'm a German. I didn't knock a corner off or fuck off. All right, let her down. Uh-oh. Is it gonna start rolling onto that? Is it gonna fuck off on me? It might fuck off on a feather. Don't fuck off on me, truck. If it fucks off, it's probably gonna run into my skid steer. Oh yeah, it'll just run into the skid steer. It'll be fine. We're gonna put this block of wood right there. It's slowly creeping forward. Let's just hurry up and get jacking. That's what she said. Everything's safe. I mean, if it falls, it's barely even gonna land on me. It's got like 12 inches to drop before it turns me into more of a cripple. Oh, this is definitely wanting to fall over, but we'll just be fast. That'll be fine. She's got a bit of a hangle on the dangle. How much angle? Oh! All of it. Just about died. Did you guys see that though? I got out of the way of that right quick.
I'll have you know I have the reflexes of a cat and the speed of a mongoose.
You don't need to worry about dying. All right, well, the bottle jack can get the job done, but my fat ass is gonna use the floor jack. Cause why? Cause fuck you guys. So Mrs. Peg's always coming and visiting me in the shop and we're shooting shit and bullshitting, and I told her that if she ever comes near the shop and she hears the lathe running and a wet slapping noise going on, just leave the lathe run, don't open the door, call the fire department from G-Dale. Oh, by the way, G-Dale Fire Department, minty as fuck. They actually saved Jaco off the floor. He almost died over there. So I told her, call the fire department and they'll deal with it. But if you hear a wet slapping noise and the lathe not running, come on in and join me. Oh yeah, mint. So we're gonna wanna balance it right on the edge. Is she good? Oh yeah, we're good. All right, so meow, we should be able to try to bomb start it. You're gonna wanna pump the fuck out of your hydraulic brakes right now, and then hold them as hard as you can, because you're not gonna have any power brakes, all right? So no power brakes, all the fiddle fucking, and you're gonna be trucking. Alrighty, so she almost fucking went. Think we should have been in second gear. Second gear might have been the cock for Dolly, because we got a lot of weight, a lot of Ferd, but not a lot of movement. So we're gonna have to go for second. But if you think I'm gonna fucking jack it all up and piddle fuck around again, you'd be wrong. I'm perfectly fine with safety sitting its way out. That's fine. Safety can do its thing. But as far as being a fat, lazy fuck, that's not sitting on the bench on this fucking round, I can tell you that. Oh, man, just sweating. All right, you know what? I'm gonna open this fucking door just so we don't whistle and diesel the door right off, because that would suck. All right, so she's back up here. Emergency brake on. All right, let's give it another try. That was way, way, way awesomer than using the jack. But you guys get the concept. I'm fat and I'm stunned and I didn't feel like jacking it again. Take two, second gear this time. Well, I was able to get her done. Now that took some fancy fucking footwork, and I was doing the old two-step and the old Ferd to get the fucking thing to bomb start in time. So while you guys were watching that, how many of you minty pricks were wagering on me butchering the starter to the point of complete destruction? Because that's exactly what happened. 60 volts going through it, it welded something up in the Bendix. The Bendix stayed engaged, and while that starter's get up and go, got up and left. All you minty mouth breeders and mongoloids watching this garbage, I appreciate you. Every last one of you minty pricks. Oh, you know what I don't appreciate though? My back. I blew my back out something fierce there. Well, not Dodge guy style, but I blew my back out big time, and man, is my crippled ass struggling. I got like the crippled hat trick. One leg, a bunged up back, fucked up foot, just a drunken derelict disaster of a human being. I hope you minty pricks like the outcome of this old video. I didn't think she would fire up that easy on the bomb start going down the wood. I did think she was going to start with the chainsaw with the altertator. I didn't think that the altertator would draw that hard on the saw when the thing was excited. There was a lot of draw on that. Enough draw to kill almost 3 V-belts. Man. As far as yanking on a tow rope or a ratchet strap around the tire and getting it running, 2 big guys pulling on that, no problem at all. If you had 3 little guys or 4 cripples, I think you'd be able to get her done right, Minty. I really want your guys' input. Have you heard of another way to get a truck running? Maybe it's a myth, or maybe it's something your uncle told you, or your brother's daddy's cousin's uncle's brother's dog's friend or something like that. He told you, and there's a way to get a truck running. I'd like to hear it in the old shit talker below, because me and old sawed-off Frenchman were coming up with a bunch of different ways to get something running, and we can't really come up with nothing. We were going to follow a tree with the ratchet strap on the tree, and it's going to pull on the tire to get it started, but that was the same concept of a guy yanking on the tire. And he wants to come up with some kind of garage door spring on some kind of a kickstart thing. I don't know. He's pretty fucking smart, the old sawed-off Frenchman. So, but if you guys can come up with something, we'd love to hear the ideas down in the shit talker below. As far as gassers go, like an old gasser, like let's say if you had a 79 square body and you ran the fucking thing dead, you could use the battery, like a Milwaukee 12-volt battery, to hook right into the coil and get the fucking thing running. Hopefully it would have enough spark. Like if you were bomb starting it, you could probably use the Milwaukee to get the fucking coil to fire. But I mean, that's all ideas for another video. You'd probably be less inclined to burning the belt off too, what for not fucking being a V-belt running a serpentine pulley. So enough of me mouth breathing and mongoloiding along here. I gotta say thank you to all the Patreons. You guys are minty as fuck. I didn't give you guys a shout out in the last video. I apologize, but this one, I wrote her all down. And my sweet fiddler's fuck, is there ever a bunch of you mouth breathing minty fucks? Oh man, these Super Duty seats are just a ticket for a fucked up back. I'll tell you that for fuck all. Alrighty, well, starting off the list, we got the 10 buckers. We got Wrench Smashing Every Day, Will Morrison, Superfly, Spencer Love, Saskatchewan Pirate, Minty Missouri 6.9, Mike Cosby Sauce, Michael Ricks. Oh, so far, all these are minty fucking names that I can pronounce. So a lot of, when them Frenchmen and fucking Germans get in there, it just fiddle fucks the whole list. And Low and Beer Hold, we got Macalichi Leonard, Liam Parrish, Kona Strong, Devin Davidson, Jewel is Drunk 69, Jonathan Templin, Jesse, Jason Rhodes, George Gale, Garrett Newhartz, Ethan Allen, Edward Meeks, Danny Dubier, Chris and Trent, Bill Sozoda, Big Green Tractors, Ashley Eluier. Oh, we got another chick. Ashley Eluier. I'm fucking stunned. Andrew Whitecomb, Andrew Hamburg, and Alex Hardy. All right, those are all the 10 buckers. We got the 15 buckers at Mitch Slowly, James K, Dirty Degenerate 1371. I wonder what 1371 is. And Cody. We got the 1776ers, fucking mint. Michael Cordell and Cardell Oli. We got 20 buckers at Thomas, Tamer Broom, Paul Silvestri. I'm fucking stunned. I can't pronounce shit. I told you guys. Nick Sellen, Mud Monster 95. Mud Monster 95. What do you got, bud? Little 95 Ferd. Michael Ziegler, Kevin Roy, Hamples Transport, Donnie Bra, Big T, Wyatt Andrews. Fucking mint. We got the 25 buckers. We got Stump Maker, Joe, and Ed. Alrighty, well, those are all the minty new fucking Patreons. Now, believe it or not, there's a bunch of minty pricks out there that see my fat crippled ass hobbling around in the snow, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna pity fuck that minty prick with a raise. Mint. Hey, a pity fuck is better than no fuck. Ass sawed off Frenchman. Alrighty, so these are all the raises. We got Zach Weaver, Mr. Fuck Trudeau, Mint, Cole Leveling, Jim Blash, James Driscoll, Daniel DeBuer, Tabernac, Nick B, Ethan Clickweir, 1202, Minty as fuck, Johnny Mann, Dawson Gardner, Nick Conrad, Luke Klein, Poop Loops Deportation, that's fucking mint, Blaine Parker, it's 1776. Oh yeah, and just so you know, the 1202s in 1776, I mean, they just deserve a special handy. James C. Frank, Jeffrey Bates, Bobby Benton, JC, I live in Canada. So do I, buddy. But Oil Berta's gonna identify as not Canadian. We got Zach S., brother from another mother, Race Car 69, Kelby, Minty McMintersons, Colby Shot, Joshua Wagoneer, Dr. Felter Snatch. Hey, that's my doctor. And for some reason, some way, somehow, he was able to put both his hands on my shoulders on the last fucking prostate exam. I don't know how he did that. He must have been a fucking magic man. And when you get to my age, I'm telling you, fellers, your dignity and privacy really fucking goes out the window. Especially when old Doc there loses his fucking watch trying to dig the last pickle out of the jar. We got 1-inch power stroke. You and me both, brother. Winter Haynes, Logan Chevrier, 1776. We got sassy mud trucks and degenerate fucks. I mean, that could pretty much be anybody in this list, bud. We got sacked out 3rd gen, minty as fuck. How many trannies did you go through, bud? Is she an auto or standard? Brad Laporte, Tom Abbott, 3-inch Nimrod, Richard C. Boosie Jr. Fucking mint, got a junior. I'm a junior. Mason Grado, Tanya Lewis, 1776. Sean Morgan, Charlie, Stephen Schopes, Michael Allen Watts, Jordan Bryan, Daniel Meyer, 1776. Mint, Daniel Everett, Tim the Poolman, Amos Jones, Bryden Brotherwood, Tanya Casey, Stephen Michelle, Matthew Ebling, Garrett Harding, Butt Cracked Bandit, 1776. Mint, Dominic Talone, Shane LeBlanc, Terrence Gabroury, White Half, Sharp D, Brad Sibert, Zachary, Tyler Smith, 1776. Zachary, 1776. AFU, Brian Zepp, Sean Achuleta Tabernac. Is that French or am I stunned? I think I'm stunned. Paul Machaud, Matt H. Tweeter Kornberger, Randy Shover, Jacob D. 1993, Dalen, Jesse Curry, Jib Steak, Luke Busby, Pork and Beans MT, Herstold 1979, Alex Witterman, Jacob Horner, Nate Van, Logan Raymond, PG Green 69, Bud Berdrewer 79, Avon Anderson, Matt Baker, Daniel Troutwine, Josh Clevenger, John Perkirk, Connor, Bam Bam, 1-inch Willie, Caden North, John Patrick, Mud Monkey, Queef Adur, Ferd Fucker, Wayne Rogers, Dylan Caveney, Sean Glasser, Corey Crackover, Diesel for Life 7779, or 7779, fucking mint, Alex Bocure. There's a lot of fucking minty Frenchmen in here, I tell ya. Mismatch, Peckerhead, AG 1776. Fucking mint. David Coy, Jimmy Corley, Dylan Roy, Derek Lavalley, Trevor Ballard. My best buddy growing up was Riley Ballard. The guy was minty as fuck. Well, I had a few best buds. Jimmy Baldwin, fucking Spencer Rombo. That's a fucking badass last name right there. Sean Arc Velveeta, whatever the fuck, Velveeta, like the fancy cheese. Keegan Smith, D-Tech, CC Carroll, Macaw Cheek, David Lentz, Shaw, David, Macholi Leonard, Noel Stute, Craven Mahead, Craven some head, Danny Deluski, Jax Woods, and Chase Burlingame. Holy fuck, that was a mouthful. But every fucking drop of diesel that I burn, every bit of Cosby sauce I get to spray, and every little bit of freedom of speech that I get to enjoy is because of all you minty fucking pricks. So you see, that's why I like to hand write every one of you minty pricks fucking name down on the old notebook there, because you guys are minty as fuck. And if it wasn't for you minty pricks, I mean, this fucking road would still be going down the show, but it wouldn't be half the fucking show she is. I tell you that for fuck all. All right, well, until next time, you guys go ahead and make sure that happens. Make sure I can turn that the right way up, and keep shitting out your ass. I can just sense stunned. Oh, there's the stun dog.